Welcome today. Today, we are going to talk about the foundation of small business success. Now, did you know that businesses with written plans grow 30% faster than those without? The difference between feeling stuck and actually seeing results isn't more hustle, it's having a clear and focused direction. So let me ask you, do you feel like you're constantly busy, but not actually making progress? Like, no matter how much effort you put in, you're just reacting instead of leading with intention. If that sounds familiar, today's conversation is for you. So, for those of you that don't know me, hi everyone. Welcome back to week 2 of Failure Proof Your Business. I'm Carol Surbey, and today we're diving into critical components of business success. Clarity and focus through goal setting. Last week, we explored the common pitfalls that lead to small business failures and the foundational steps to ensure that your business thrives. If you missed that section, go back and watch the replay. It lays the groundwork for what we're about to talk about today. One of the biggest reasons business owners feel overwhelmed and directionless is that they don't really have clear, actionable goals that provide focus and drive progress. Without this clarity, every task feels urgent. You spend your days reacting instead of leading, and you're constantly firefighting. What you should be doing is building. But when you get really intentional about your direction, your entire business starts to shift. Reasons why clarity is non-negotiable. Number 1, clarity provides direction. Imagine driving without a GPS. You might be moving, but where are you actually going? When you define what success looks like for your business, decision making becomes so much easier. Instead of second guessing, you now are making choices that align with your goals. Let me give you an example. If your goal is to increase revenue by 25% this year, every decision from marketing to hiring to pricing to the customer experience comes down to focusing on that goal and making it happen. If an opportunity comes up that sounds so good, but it doesn't serve that goal, your confident answer is to say no. That's the power of clarity. It eliminates the noise and keeps you focused on what actually matters. Reason number 2, clarity enhances efficiency. One of the biggest reasons business owners feel exhausted and overwhelmed is because they're busy, but not necessarily productive. Let me say that again. One of the biggest reasons why business owners feel exhausted and overwhelmed is because they're busy, but they're not necessarily productive. Some of you are going, oh, right, that's me. And here's the thing, when you have clear goals, you're able to have a shift in priority. You stop wasting time on things that just no longer move the needle. Instead of spending hours tweaking your website for the umpteenth time, you now start to focus on generating leads. Instead of getting lost in the admin work, you actually now can delegate and automate your system. Instead of chasing shiny objects, you double down on what's already working. And when you're focused, you get better results in less time. And reason number 3, clarity builds confidence. Here's something that most people don't talk about. Clarity isn't just about strategy, it's actually about mindset. When you're unclear, you second guess yourself. You hesitate, you feel scattered, and that uncertainty trickles down into your team and eventually into the customer experience. But when you know exactly where you're headed, you step into your role as a leader with confidence, you speak with authority, you make decisions faster, and you inspire trust. Your clients, your team, your community, they can feel that. They can feel when you're clear on your vision. That confidence is contagious, and it's a game changer in your business. Let me give you an example of how this shows up. I had a client that came to me completely overwhelmed. Their business was growing, but instead of feeling that excitement, they were drowning in chaos. Their team was working hard, but there was no clear strategy, no alignment, and no focus. So when we took a step back, instead of just working harder, we actually got intentional. We defined the 3 key objectives for the next 6 months, and that's all we worked on. For 6 months is the 3 things. And suddenly, once you had the foundations and the fundamentals right, not suddenly, 6 months of work, things started to shift. Everything started to get easier. Their team knew exactly what to prioritize. Decisions became faster, they were easier to make, and they started seeing results almost immediately without the burnout. That is what clarity does. It simplifies, it streamlines, and it brings relief, because suddenly you're not carrying everything on your shoulders. You, your team, your business is following a plan. So get clear here today. Here's what I want you to do. Take 5 minutes, pause the video, take 5 minutes today, and write down 3 key business goals for the next 90 days. And that's all we're going to work on, is these 3 goals. Now, as you're choosing these goals, I want you to ask yourself, are these goals actually moving my business forward, or are they just keeping me busy? Are they aligned with my long-term vision? And will they make a meaningful impact on my customers? And if the answer is yes, then you've got your 3 goals. And here's a bonus tip for you. We all love bonus tips. Look at your goals and see how small of a step, how small of a chunk, how small of an action we can actually break this goal down into. The more specific your goals, the easier they are to achieve. And the example for this is, have you ever tried to go up a staircase 3 stairs at a time? How did that work for you? When you were actually able to make the extra 2 steps, right? And go 1 step after the next step. The staircase is much easier to ascend rather than trying to do it 3 steps at a time. So making sure that we take that big goal and chunk it down to the smallest action steps that we can. And all we have to do to start that process is ask ourselves, and then what? And then what? We're talking about a sales process. The very first step is the client phones the office. And then what? We don't go straight to an estimate. We go to the receptionist, gets their name, phone number. And then what? The receptionist might ask them a few more questions. And then what? Then once we have all the information from the client, then the receptionist gives the information to the owner. And then what? And then the owner pulls out the sales script merges it with the information given to them from the receptionist, and calls them back. And then what? Right? So we want to get really, really granular here, people. The more granular you can get, the easier it's going to be for you guys to execute. So let's get granular. We're at the point here where we want to keep each other accountable. So drop one of your goals in the comments. I want to see what you're working on, and let me cheer you on. And if you want support on this, you can either join my private Facebook group, The Scalable CEO, and it's a space for business owners just like you to gain clarity, to get support, and to take action on your biggest rules. That link will also be below. So what do I have coming up next? Next week, we're talking about something just as important, and it's how to align your marketing and your branding with your unique sales proposition so you can attract the right customer and stand out in your industry. Let's be honest here. Not all people that knock on your door or call you on the phone are your customers. And when you're crystal clear on what makes you different, selling becomes effortless. And you won't want to miss this one. So my final thought here today is clarity is a choice. You don't have to stay stuck in overwhelm. And you don't have to keep spinning your wheels. Take the time to get clear. Set intentional goals and watch how much easier everything just becomes. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next